Looks like I'm live. There's a little bit of a Google issue or something like that. There we go. All right, sweet. I see we are live here. What's up, y'all? Yeah, there's like I'm sure some of you guys have run into it already for your daily work stuff, something like that. There's a bunch of Google outages. It took me a second to figure out how to go live here, but yeah. Assuming we have a chat today, I'll be live for 20 or 30 minutes or so for BOXEM office hours. Good to see everybody. Yeah, let me know if you guys are in chat, and I'm also gonna drop the link in the Discord here. Yeah, let me know. Give me say what's up in chat if you guys are here. There's some weird tech going on. Yeah, and then also if you're watching the replay, make sure you check out a 2-week free trial of BOXEM as well. Been a ton of new upgrades, improvements, all that kind of stuff for it. It's faster than anything else, more accurate than anything else, and the shipment creation process is it's crazy now. Yeah, like you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're using anything else, basically. So yeah, make sure you grab a 2-week free trial, and yeah, let me know who we got in chat if you guys are around. See, there's a couple of you guys, I think. Yeah, like I said, some tech issues there, but yeah, I'm gonna drop it in Discord as well. And then yeah, hopefully we're able to get going here. Sweet. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about selling on Amazon. Anything you've been running into recently. I've been mentioning it, but it gets more and more relevant every day. There's a lot of really good opportunities with Father's Day sales going on. So that is basically every website's going to be running a really good sale. For the next few days, that kind of thing. Father's Day is on Sunday too, so don't forget to get your dad something. Sweet. There we go. All the comments came in at once. What's up, Trapper? What's up, CC? What's up, Angie? Yeah, this is Q&A. Assuming the technology will play ball with us today. There's some kind of Google glitch or something like that. If you look it up, there's like everything is broken right now across the whole. The chat is back to normal. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, Angie. Happy to help. What's up, Mark? How many label printers? Just one, Trapper. Yeah. So just the I just use a Rollo label printer basically, and that will take care of everything you need. Yeah, and you'll just link up your Rollo with BOXEM, and then BOXEM will auto format the labels and all that kind of stuff, so that you're not dealing with like print glitches or anything like that. Basically, yeah. What's up, Angie? Said, how are the tariffs affecting the Amazon business? So the way I do it, not really at all. Especially since it's so uncertain and pointless. They're just changing by the day. There's a way for like big companies to get the products they want. They either stocked up beforehand or like now when it's not quite as severe, that kind of thing. They are stocking up a little bit more. And yeah, so like the only people it's really affecting is private label sellers, where the obvious like the cost of goods as soon as you want to buy your product is way up. It's not really affecting arbitrage and that kind of stuff too much, just because those products are already in the country and already directly sold by like people like us, basically. Yeah, and we're not importing anything from China or anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, the only thing that could happen is prices of everything in the whole country go up, and then we just raise the prices on Amazon if our cost of goods go up, and that's just the nature of it, basically. Sweet. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. Yeah, I was doing some sourcing earlier as well, making a new video for you guys, that kind of thing. And yeah, finding lots of good stuff, to be honest. So yeah, it's a good day for doing some sourcing. If you have got some time to kill, I would definitely get after it. Here I'll even since yeah, I think chat's having a little bit of issues today, I'll even just pop up an example. Let's see. Yeah, so like stuff like this, I was finding some new brands, just like digging through storefronts basically, and seeing a couple things like this. Like here's like a white like top of some kind, that kind of thing. And then the big thing when you guys are sourcing, make sure we are always considering extra ways to create margin. That's like the only way that reselling works, right? Is not just like buying at retail price. Always making sure you have some kind of extra discount. So in this case, like buying this for 50 and selling it for 82 is not really good enough, especially since it's like women's clothing, that kind of thing. It's going to have a really high return rate. But you can see on this, we're able to get a 15% off code, and you can create this coupon code as many times as you want. So Mark's in chat. So let's say it's like mark@gmail.com is your email. This makes your coupon code go, or you can add a plus, and then it'll send the coupon to whatever's before the plus. But the website thinks that the coupon applies to this here, right? So it thinks there's a new email address, and then you can get 15% off every time, basically. So $50 minus 15%. Now it's profitable, right? So just like a quick example of creating profit rather than like just expecting to find it. That's really big. It's gonna keep you profitable in the long run, basically. Let's see what's up. Trying to get ungated. Bought some from Target. Yeah, just keep submitting. There's a lot of Amazon reps that just don't actually want to do their job, unfortunately. So they just spam deny all day. But yeah, just keep submitting. You'll get to an Amazon rep that wants to do their jobs, and you'll get approved on that, basically. Yeah. Let's see. What does it mean to win the buy box? Yeah, good question. I'll even jump into an example. Let me see. Yeah, this is a decent example. Again, I was doing some of this sourcing earlier for a video I'll release for you guys. But you can see like this, for example, just like bare basics of the buy box. That's just whatever seller's in the add to cart button, they're winning the buy box. And generally, you're going to see that the buy box on Seller Amp is going to be shared between sellers who are at roughly the same price and roughly the same shipping speed. So like on this, you can see we can even add type to see if it's FBA or FBM sellers. Yeah, it's basically all FBA sellers that are winning the buy box on this, and it's rotating. It seems like between these 4 different sellers pretty evenly, because 16 hours ago, 8 hours ago, they just made a sale. Yeah, and that lines up also with kind of the different offers I'm seeing here as well. But yeah, winning that, just have a good price, have a good shipping speed. If you're an FBM seller, make sure your merchant fulfilled template is really dialed in. So like this seller here is doing FBM. You're gonna want to make sure you have like a reasonable handling time. So usually like 0 or 1 day handling time. Make sure that the states you're close to are set up to be like less days in terms of shipping costs, and the states that are further of you are more. So you're not like over promising. You have to buy like really expensive shipping to get it somewhere. Yeah, good question though. What's up, Joey? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good vibes. Took you a few tries. I assume you mean like, yeah, getting some ungates going. Yeah, so yeah, just keep submitting if you guys are having any issues with that, basically. Let's see, if you have 1,000 shirts to sell, do you have to put 1,000 SKUs to put on each shirt? Yeah. So that's how it would work. You can also you can pay Amazon to label it for you. So I'll get an example up on BOXEM so you can see how that works real quick. Let's see, just getting it up. But yeah, you put an FN SKU label on every item that you want to sell on Amazon, but you don't always have to put them on there yourself. So all right, I'm going to pull this up on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Right. So when you're adding a listing on BOXEM here, you can just, add the product, whatever it is. And then on here where it says label owner, you can select Amazon, and it's going to charge you about 55 cents per unit for them to label it for you. Now, the biggest downside to letting Amazon do your labeling for you is that your lead time is way slower, basically. Yes, because like you're shipping it to a kind of a separate facility within Amazon, and then that separate facility is labeling your product, and then they're shipping it off, right? So it adds an extra step to the process versus you just doing it yourself. And yeah, as long as you're doing it through BOXEM, it's really quick to kind of keep that all managed, and you can auto print the labels as you go throughout as well. So yeah. Let's see. Item says 300. Yeah, that's all I do. If it says 100, 300, whatever it says, I've only ever submitted 10, and it's always worked. Yeah, the reps are still trained on 10 working, basically. When looking for new aces, you focus. That's all I do, Lee. When you're brand new, it's easier to find new products in store because the only competition to find that product was the 3 to 10 Amazon sellers in your area. Sometimes more than that if you're in a really big city, but yeah, for most of you, it's just like a few other competitors in your area that are trying to snipe up like local retail stuff. If you want to find stuff that's easier to scale long term, then yeah, online is where you want to look. For sure. Shipping is the only thing holding. Not sure what you mean, Trapper. Yeah, let me Let me know if you want to clarify that or something. But yeah, if as far as yeah, for shipping and analytics and restocking your products and that kind of stuff, that's where you'll use Box. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. What's up, Rob? You said when doing FBM, do you need to open all the bags and remove the store tags? I would if it has a price tag on it. If it doesn't have a price tag on it, then I'm not super concerned with it. But you just don't want somebody getting an item that they paid, $30 for it, and there's a Walmart price tag that says $10, right? Like I think any of us would be reasonably a little peeved if we saw that, right? And even though it's like totally allowed, you still want to make sure that you still want to make sure your customers are happy, basically. Yeah, you can also instead of ripping the price tags off, you can just cover them with a blank FNSKU label. A lot of times that's easier. Like if you have like a label printer, like one of these, you just put a blank label over it, and then it does the same thing. They still can't read it, but you don't have to like rip a label off. It's a little faster sometimes. So you have somebody who handles all your prep shipping to FBA. You like to have them to do the shipment creation process as well. It's the best way to do this. Yeah, so you'll just here I can even show you. I think I can show you. Yeah. So yeah, within BOXEM, you'll be able to add them as a guest user. That way you can limit them to whatever you do or don't want them to see. Yeah, I can't screen share it because it has some like prep center information on it, that kind of thing. But yeah, so Abdullah, if you want to have somebody else do your shipping for you, just give them access within BOXEM and just limit their access to making shipments if you don't want them to see your sales and that kind of stuff, basically. For sure. Does optimized shipments help with shipping speed? Sort of. So if you use 2D barcodes, your stuff gets checked in a little bit faster. The alternative to that is using BOXEM optimized, which makes sense if you are shipping 5 identical boxes. So let me even see. Yeah, this'll work as an example. Let me see if I can get this up here for you. Yeah, so here's like an expired shipment. That's why it's grayed out. But you can see like if you have a optimized shipment where you have 5 boxes that are identical, it's going to open up this option where you have 0 placement fees. And sometimes, typically on products that are a little bit heavier or on shipments that are a little bit heavier, like on the 150 pounds plus side, that's where it starts to become cheaper to use optimized placements. Before that, you should just take advantage of the 2D barcodes that are on BOXEM for the check-in time boost a little bit. Because like in this case, you can see it's a lighter shipment, and it was actually $2 more expensive to have the 0 fee optimized placement, and it's just a little bit more of a headache to deal with, especially in terms of like packing it, because packing 5 identical boxes is obviously a little bit trickier than just throwing everything in a couple boxes and entering it in. And in this case, it still wouldn't have saved us money just to ship it all to the same warehouse. But if you're having like much heavier shipments, that can definitely be worth checking out. Yeah, and then it goes to more. So like in this, you can see it's shipping to 5 final destinations. And this one, it's only shipping to 1. So like with this BOXEM optimized shipment, you're going to have more options that immediately get to the warehouse it wants to sell at. So you have some of the you'll have some of the products ready to sell at more warehouses when it checks in, basically. When you're doing FBA, at what point should you list it? No, so yeah, Joshua. So you'll buy a product and then you just go to step 1 of BOXEM to start listing the product, and then that'll walk you through the whole thing. Yeah, so like you get the product, you list it on BOXEM, you ship it through BOXEM, it gets to Amazon, and then the product starts selling, basically. Yeah. Can you work out of the USA? Yeah, you definitely can. There's a lot of people that sell on Amazon in the US and either live internationally full time or they nomad, that kind of thing. They travel around and come back every now and then to check on the pile of returns and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can definitely sell on Amazon from overseas. With some good niches for summer. Anything that sells, Dennis. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not usually super concerned with I'm not super concerned with like certain types of products and niches and all kinds of stuff like that. I just buy stuff that's profitable. I'm a lot more concerned with what sales are going on. So, maybe a big clothing brand, maybe something like Nautica is having a big sale today. All right, I'm gonna check that. Or let's, something like Vitacost. All right, Vitacost has a big sale today. All right, I'm probably gonna be sourcing some vitamins and groceries and like natural products, that kind of thing, right? So Yeah, I'm a lot more concerned with what sales are going on today and checking what sales are going on rather than like what products I want to sell, basically. What's up, Claire? How's it going? Sharpie method been working for you? Yeah, yeah, for covering up like price tags and that kind of thing. Yeah, you can just Sharpie over the original price. That definitely works as well if you want to keep it a little more old school. Also, the more you guys got to get the merch for the handle going on. 100 ROI's got the 100 ROI hat on, which we got to meet in person, and it was good to meet you, man. But yeah, I like the energy with the custom merch there. FBM and some products, you use that migrated template in BOXEM. No, that's perfect. You can also, if you want to make sure it's like super dialed in, you can have there, just look up FBM or merchant fulfilled guide on YouTube, and it'll probably be one of my videos that pops up, or just add merchant fulfilled guide. And let me check. I'm curious if mine's still popping up first. Yeah, so it's either Miles or I, depending on where you're looking, and you're able to see all the different shipping templates and settings and that kind of stuff, and just some general best practices on that. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are sales going for you, Alex? I know I've seen your name in here before. Sweet. Let's see. I like 5 pillars. Yeah, it's just that's the book that Corey wrote. There's not necessarily like a next step after any business model, more like I would say. The business model that you should do for a long time is the one that you can see yourself having fun doing for a long time, and you can kind of create some kind of advantage, right? Like I would never sell books on Amazon for the next decade, but there's people who sell, 8, potentially even like 9 figures of books. I've definitely met a few 8-figure booksellers, which is crazy, and I never would want to do that. And then you also talk to people who do like wholesale, and they're like, oh, you can't do $10 million in OA, but there's tons of $10 million OA sellers as well, right? So there's no like next step. It's just whatever you can see yourself doing and whatever your skill set is suited to. So like where wholesale comes into play, like what you're asking about, Trapper, is let's say you really like making phone calls and building like relationships, and especially if you're more on like the traditional business side, that might make more sense for you. Versus me, I just like hunting for deals and kind of building systems around finding deals as fast as possible and that kind of thing. And that's what I've just enjoyed doing for several years now. So whatever you can see yourself doing for a long time. Sweet. Says 300 units required. No, just submit 10. Yeah. Like I think I answered your question a second ago. Just submit 10. I have not submitted more than 10 at all ever, and it's always worked. It just takes more, a couple submissions basically. Sweet. Going great. Five extra sales in 12 days compared to 30 days last month. That's what's up, Alex. Yeah, I like to see that. You're in Target invoices. They definitely work, Joshua. Yeah, any legit retailer is going to work. Amazon has seen Target and Walmart, hundreds of thousands of times, if not millions. And where people, I've personally had a lot more issues and seen a lot more other people have issues getting like a small wholesaler. That documentation to work versus Walmart is always going to be harder to get approved because they trust Walmart. They might not have seen your small wholesaler before. That's why it's like important to make sure your suppliers are legit. Sweet. And then in chat, I'll also drop a link for all of you guys that are making shipments, want to know how much money you're making, kind of just need a handle on your business. Especially if you're using something else for this already, make sure you switch to BOXEM. It's a lot faster, easier to use, cheaper than basically all the other solutions as well. So I'll drop a link in chat. You can try it free for 2 weeks as well. Let's see. Starting out, I found 2 items and only testing small batches. Is that enough to send into Amazon? Go for it. Yeah, go for it, Joshua. You're going to pay a little bit more in per pound shipping than you will in the long term. But like, if it's always better to test making money sooner than later, right? Yeah. And you can also, like, if you said you have 30 of them, I would list like 10 of them each FBM and then send the rest to FBA. That way you'll be able to make some sales while you're waiting for products to check in at Amazon, basically. And you're not just sitting there. Cost of shipping on BOXEM for the shipping labels calculated in seller app. It is if you include it in your seller app settings. So for most of you guys, it's going to be like 60 cents a pound. And you can just include that in your settings on seller app. Yeah. And that way, as you're sourcing, it's actually going to be included and you're not going to forget about it. Like, for example, I'll just pop this up. if you see like on my fee calculator that I source with on all of my videos and that kind of stuff, like let me just punch in a price. You're going to see I'm including about 60 cents a pound for inbound shipping. And then I also include a sales tax on these as well, just so it's always transparent and we're actually making money on the examples and that kind of stuff. Don't have BOXEM, get it? Yeah, for sure, Alex. Good vibes. Takes shipping, Alex. Yeah, for sure, Alex. Glad you're liking it. Yeah, if you guys make shipments, you want to know how much money you're making, that kind of stuff, which is all essential to Amazon sellers. Make sure you try it for free. Why will Amazon not shut down third-party sellers? They make more profit off third-party sellers than selling on Amazon themselves. So that would be a pretty good reason if I ran Amazon. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that Amazon sells themselves is like a loss leader to get people buying on Amazon so that they buy the more expensive stuff that's sold by third-party sellers where they actually make the majority of their money. Yeah, exactly. Revelations. For sure. Is there a video tutorial that walks through all the features of BOXEM? Yeah, Abdullah, go to the BOXEM YouTube channel. And then yeah, you can also go recently on my channel. I made a full guide on the FBA shipment flow for sure as well. Let's see. Do you utilize a bot to keep sending in? No, you can't. You don't want to use bots on the back end of Amazon. Like, be very careful with it. At least a lot of times you'll like break TOS on accident. Plus, it's really easy. Just like every day, go check the applications that got denied and resubmit exactly what you sent yesterday, and then eventually it'll get approved. Just make it part of your daily checklist to throw stuff in there. You're new here. What's up, Ramiro? Let me know if you got any questions about selling on Amazon. Yeah, and then for those of you guys that are like just trying to learn the basics and that kind of stuff for free, down in the description there's a free Amazon course. It's the Amazon Launchpad. So there's like 3 hours of content. There's six or seven PDFs of like websites to buy from. Some stuff that'll be helpful for wholesale, like how to create discounts, like everything you need to know is in the free course. Plus there's a free Discord. So check that out if you want some really good, just like free resources to get started with. Basically, I'll drop the link in chat as well. What's up, Josh? You're in a big group. None of your questions got answered. Got you, Joshua. Yeah. Yeah. Happy to help. Let me know if you have any other questions, man. Yeah, I can tell based on the questions you've like looked into it for sure and made a little bit of sales, that kind of stuff. So yeah, just I would say that the main things for you now, you said you bought a couple items, just like keep taking action. The best way to learn is making as many of those small test buys as you can and losing some money here, making some money here, and then figuring out, all right, how do I only get these products where I make money? You're not going to learn from just watching content and asking questions and that kind of stuff. At least after a certain point. Trying the ASINs, yeah, go for it, Ramiro. Yeah. What would you use to track sales? Yeah, so that's what you'll want BOXEM for. So BOXEM will track sales, profit, what products to restock, what products are getting highly refunded, so you should avoid. And then of course it makes shipping to Amazon way easier as well. Will Amazon accept Walmart order confirmations even if it's on a third-party seller? Generally, no. I don't source anything from third-party sellers on any website, to be honest, because there's some like Best Buy you can sell third-party and some other opportunities like that. So yeah, just before you shop on any website, make sure you're buying directly from the website. Yeah. Why does it take so much time for Amazon to receive products? I mean, usually it's like 1 to 3 weeks, which if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? You're shipping, 200 pounds worth of stuff across the country. They're opening the boxes, getting it on the shelves and ready for someone to buy it within like 2 to 4 weeks, 1 to 3, depending on the time of year, which seems fairly reasonable. Yeah, if you can run a faster warehouse, then I'm sure Amazon will pay you a lot of money to to figure out how to do it. So yeah, if you got some good ideas for Amazon, then you should go charge them for it. One thing you can do to help check-ins is using 2D barcodes through BOXEM, or if you're shipping a lot of the same thing, like that optimized option, we'll ship it to 5 different places at once, and then it'll be available for sale at more places as soon as it checks in, basically. Appreciate you, Alex. How much should a beginner seller like you set aside for taxes? And Tall Oak, yeah. So Chris at Tall Oak, he's great if you need some help. I'm pretty sure they're in all states as far as I know, but yeah, I would hit them up on that. I think the accountant answer as far as like how much to set aside for taxes is like it's usually like 30% of profit is what they're going to tell you. What a lot of sellers do, and like what I do, again, not tax advice. This is what I do for my business, not not legal advice. The whole disclaimer, that kind of thing, is generally at the beginning of the year I will pay less, or just meet my quarterlies, that kind of thing. And then backload the taxes towards the end of the year. That way you can reinvest as much money as possible in the beginning of the year, and then start holding a higher percentage at the end. And at the end of the day, you've grown your money more, rather than setting aside some of your startup capital just for taxes, that kind of thing. But yeah, talk to your CPA about like specific tax strategies and stuff. What's up? Got ungated. Yeah, just use 10 units for that. It'll still work. That's all I've been doing. Sweet. I'm hoping this isn't something something maniacal, but I don't speak Turkish, but hi. That would be cool, but I'm strictly down to like a language, maybe 1.7 languages, a little bit of Chinese, decent amount of Chinese, but I'm fresh out of Turkish knowledge. Sorry, Chief. Been submitting image, gets received, same document. Yeah, submit the same thing again. Rename the PDF, reorder the files in the PDF, that kind of thing. Don't overthink it. Just keep it rolling. Haven't made any sales yet. Found 2 items that you got auto ungated. Nice, yeah. Yeah, if you said you have 2 items, then yeah, like we were saying, get a couple of those FBM, and I bet you can make a sale or 2 in the next day. If you've got 2 items that actually sell. Do you have a way, or a vendor can help you get tax expenses on inventory? So you don't get that back, right? It's just like part of your cost of goods sold. If you had to pay sales tax on it and you weren't able to use like a resale permit, you're just gonna have to pay taxes on it. That's just how it works. You just bake it into your COGS and write it off as part of your cost of goods sold at the end of the year. You want to skip the labeling process. Yeah, Angie, you can work with a prep center. So you'll ship to a prep center. The prep center will log into BOXEM for you, and they'll use BOXEM to make your FBA shipment. But yeah, you can just Google prep center. Like, start with one in a state with no sales tax as well. For sure. Yeah, just keep submitting, Abdullah. Let's see. Heard with FBM, you flip your money faster versus FBA. You only have $300 after you start. Yeah, you should definitely be doing FBM. And honestly, if you only have $300, I would spend a little bit of extra time, like honestly, like drive DoorDash for like 2 or 3 weeks, whatever you got to do to get your startup funds to like $1,000. Just because if you start with that little money, like in an inventory based business, you are like, well, you have $300, right? You make 50% ROI. You only have $450 next month, right? And then you're still under 1,000 for a while. So like, if you have that little cash, I would do something to generate some cash. Flip stuff that's free on Facebook from thrift stores, work DoorDash, whatever you got to do for like a month or 2. Doesn't have to be a long-term thing. And then you can have a lot more money to dump into inventory. Because yeah, it's just, objectively, the more money you can spend, the faster you're going to grow. Yeah, and you got to wait 2 weeks to get the money back. So yeah, like I'm saying, like you're just going to grow really slowly. Let's see. When you send in, I don't usually highlight anything unless they deny it and say like, hey, you didn't buy 10 units. Then I'll go and I'll highlight where I bought 10 units. Like, yeah, I did. Like, yeah, I'll just usually submit just how I got it, unless I'm getting any feedback or like pushback or anything like that. Not letting your skepticism hold you back. Yeah, for sure, Wes. Like, yeah, you're saying I wouldn't be sitting here, streaming 3 days a week and working on Amazon stuff every single day if there was no money to be made. Yeah. Is it hard work? Is it harder than 2020 when every single item on Amazon was profitable because everyone was stuck at home? Yeah. Is it still worthwhile, and is it still one of the best cash flow businesses on the internet? Also, yes. Yeah. So yeah, just for all of you guys that are getting started, just expect to be willing to work hard, and if you're willing to work hard, you'll do fine. Yeah. Just be willing to roll with the punches, that kind of stuff. Does Amazon have its own prep center? Not really. You can like I was showing a second ago, when you ship products into Amazon, you can select Amazon labels and you pay them 55 cents a unit to label it for you. But you can't ship direct from like a website to Amazon. You have to still send the shipment exactly how they wanted, like how they wanted it formatted, basically. So yeah, you still have to follow some rules basically on that. And it's like a per unit thing. Usually it only makes sense to do that if it's a wholesale order and your wholesaler shipped it to Amazon, following like the rules you set for them, basically. Appreciate you, Dennis. Yeah, you can sell on Turkey in Turkey if you're still around. Sweet. Doesn't really matter, Joshua. I usually end up mine are usually like PDFs. Let's see. Do eBay? Yeah, this is the meta. This is the move if you have very little money. Yeah, do some eBay. Hit the thrift stores, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, like a little bit of cash, like service-based stuff. Any of the gig apps you can do. You can work your way to 1 or 2K in starting capital pretty quick if you're just willing to like hustle on the time consuming stuff for a little bit. And if you have no money, then you got to be willing to pay time. There's the only two things you can do to grow a business or grow money. You can pay time, or you can pay money. So if you don't have money, you got to pay a little bit of time there. Sweet. I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here for the day. I didn't know if I'd be able to get live with all it's like some Google outages or something like that that were like everything was broken on the streaming backend and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Make sure you grab a 2-week free trial of BOXEM as well. Check out all the new updates, the new stuff we've been adding. And yeah, good vibes today. You guys have a good rest of your day. I will